There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They run with Murray. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Murray. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here,
From midfield now, Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. To throw is Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back near the goal line, here's Rodgers. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. And they work this out past the 25. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 25-yard line.
58. Check 56. Okay, double up.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, you block over here.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 40, past the 20, 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Rodgers now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Don't be scared of it.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He wants it all for the end zone, and that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
2nd down, 6.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. A throw caught by Kumaro. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. These two teams all tied after one.
Let's go. Check out Reed.
On second down now. It's Murray, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. On first down, it's Haskins going with a screen for Murray. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Haskins looking to go back to Thomas again, but now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 40-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
I got you. Check. Fresno. Whip. Watch the whip.
Now Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On first down, it's Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They run with a fullback now. This is Dan Vitale. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
The Packers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
At the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. They complete it to Hill. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. We got it. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Let's go, let's go. Check it backer, check it backer.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go play action with Haskins. Throw left side complete. That's Murray. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Haskins. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB. We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Tackle made back at the 22-yard line.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. There he goes left side, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Zach Line, his second touchdown on the season. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. butts good on the extra point, and it's now 17-14.
17. Packers 14.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like? Rush coming, and he's taken down. Za'Darius Smith in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now left side on the swing pass, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free, creating something good for your team.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Again, it's Murray. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, Haskins flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Auden Tate, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jones. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rodgers going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw is Rodgers. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, These are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
First down, Saints.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. What you got, Heavy? Give me track.
They go back to Murray on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Right here.
From the gun, it's Haskins. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On second down now, it's Jones. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run on first down. Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 37-yard line.
Second and 5 now. Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. 3 quarters in the books. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 12 yards there and a first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Now Jones. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
Now it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Their own 28-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A carry for Adams, and he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Saints on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Haskins out of the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
37-yard line.
Got it. Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, pick your game up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Haskins. And this one complete to Smith. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
1st down, New Orleans.
Let's go now. Time to end it. 50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. You got Rodney.
On 1st down, this is Adams. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They run on 2nd down with Adams. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Adams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 18-yard line.
3 down, 3 down.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help